actually first read about CR back in my early 20s in a book by Ray Kurzweil. Do I look at you or the camera?
Oh, the camera.
Oh, the camera. In a book by Ray Kurzweil called The 10% Solution for a Healthy Life. That was back when we were all low-fat freaks. And he mentioned CR in a chapter near the end. But I thought at the time, well, I'll look into this when I'm getting near 30 and starting to think about aging, because at 21 I wasn't that interested. But I filed it away, and sure enough, as I was getting, it was around 29, I was starting to see signs of aging, not liking the way I looked, had gained a bunch of weight, not sleeping well, feeling winded upon climbing the stairs to my third floor office, and just decided this has got to stop. So I did a Google search and found the Calorie Restriction Society and subscribed to the email list, read Roy Wofford's books, and started CR on March 26th of 2004 at 5:10 p.m.
Well, pretty definite time. So what was your experience? How much of a change was it between what you were doing before?
It was a pretty huge change at that point, and there were several phases of it. I mean, right off the bat, I cut out grains. I had been eating before a bagel with cream cheese from Dunkin' Donuts every morning for breakfast. I just cut that out. I cut out all alcoholic drinks except for red wine, so no more margaritas, no more Kettle One and cranberry, and stopped putting sugar in my coffee, which was a big deal because I used to take the sugar and just go, so that was right off the bat. I started out counting calories, and I still do. Yeah, that's what we do here. But I started out doing 1,200 a day on weekdays. And then on weekends, just really eating whatever. I mean, kind of eating ad lib on weekends. And that was good because and sometimes if I would eat ad lib for dinner on a weekday because I was out with friends or whatever, I would make up for it on the weekends. But that worked out well to kind of ease CR into my social life and not be such an abrupt transition. I started to lose weight very quickly. I was a little bit overweight when I started. I weighed 137 pounds when I started. 20 pounds dropped off so fast that I didn't even really see it go.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, just gone. And I immediately felt so much better. I had that CR euphoria effect that a lot of people have in the early stages where I was just so happy all the time. It was like I was on drugs. So, the immediate effects were so positive. My sleeping improved. And I've been a pretty serious insomniac. Tons more energy. Liked the way I looked again, which was really good. So that was kind of the beginning. That was the first few months.
Like the first few weeks, was it hard? I imagine having the past habits, this would be a big change.
Not really. It was really quite easy at first, and there was really no issue of hunger because if you think about it, I was burning off a huge tank of fat. So it was like I had a fuel tank. I could even fast and not feel hungry because I had all this fat that I was burning off. I was about 33%, maybe more than that. No, about 33% body fat when I started CR. And now I'm about 18 or 19%, depending on which measurement you use. So I just had a lot of fat to burn off. I think I lost very little lean body mass. So I felt great.
So what is a typical day for you in terms of eating?
Well, my sort of quotidian day, like when I'm at work and things are normal, is I take a cup of egg whites in a carton, not egg beaters, but real egg whites. I scramble them. I add one slice of non-fat cheddar cheese, which has 30 calories and I think 20% of the RDA of calcium, and take some shiitake mushrooms, which are good for B vitamins and such, and just really wonderful for flavor. I scramble that. I eat it with a teaspoon of flax oil for omega-3s that I add after removing it from the heat. I drink coffee. I actually start my day with some unsweetened cranberry juice that I take with my supplements first thing in the morning. And so that's breakfast. And then lunch, my partner Michael makes me wonderful salad that has Napa cabbage, arugula, kale, mustard greens, sometimes turnip greens when we can find them, red pepper, tomato, really delicious salad. He packs that for me. It's 89 calories in the portion that I eat. And then I take a cup of non-fat plain organic yogurt and I mix it with, it's 75 calories in the yogurt I buy. I mix it with some salsa, usually Trader Joe's salsa verde. I use that as a salad topping. I have 60 calories, which is 10.2 grams worth of almonds with that for fat. I try to actually eat more fat now than I did when I was, say, in my early 20s and doing the low-fat thing. So that's my lunch. I ate a half a mega muffin. I actually can show you a mega muffin if you want me to demonstrate. I have one in my bag.
Sure.
Michael makes the mega muffins. You're going to think he does all the work, but I'm about to tell you about the work I do for him in a minute. This is the mega muffin, aka the Muffy. I love this critter. This is a whole one. This has
Hold it steady now.
okay. This has 275 calories. It per 100 calories, it has 10% of the RDA of everything. So theoretically, if you really wanted to, you could eat 1,000 calories of these and get 100% of the RDA of everything. I ate a half of one of these as a little afternoon snack, and then if I can make it home on time for work, I cook dinner for Michael. I make our dinners, and I do all our cooking on weekends and vacation and stuff because I really love to cook. He does 629 calories, zone ratios, which is 30% protein, 30% fat, 40% carb for every dinner. My dinner is sort of just on a work day. I mean, I do fancy cooking, on the weekends and such, but kind of a boring old work day dinner for me would be a soup that I make with no salt, organic vegetable broth, vegetable bouillon that I mix up with about 40 to 50 calories, and I measure it, but just some days I end up with 40 and some days I end up with a little more calories of some sort of cruciferous vegetable, be it broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, Brussels sprouts, whatever I decide on. I try to get a cruciferous vegetable every day. To that I add 2 tablespoons of Lewis Labs brand brewer's yeast, which really is the only brand of brewer's yeast that tastes good. It's so good. I think it tastes vaguely miso-like. So I make a soup out of that. Sometimes I add a little hot sauce. And then I have a cup of Trader Joe's non-fat cottage cheese, which is 140 calories per cup. I add to that some of my favorite North Carolina barbecue sauce, because that's where I'm originally from. I do 20 calories worth of Carolina Treat brand barbecue sauce. Look for it on the web, carolinatreat.com. And to that I add my final teaspoon for the day of flax oil. And I drink a glass of wine with dinner at night, a glass of red.
And you mentioned something about keeping track of the nutrient intake. Do you use some kind of, do you weigh the food?
I do. I weigh the food and I use software. I use DWITUP right now. I use Dr. Walford's Interactive Diet Planner. I'm gradually transitioning to our fellow CR Society member, Aaron's Chronometer software, but right now I'm still using clunky old DWITUP. It gets the job done. It's familiar and an old friend. We've been together a long time now. I also, so that's kind of my normal day. That's under 1,200 calories. It's usually about 1,100. I, give or take, depending on if I have 4 ounces of wine or 6 ounces of wine or what have you. I still go out to eat. I'd say about once a week. I go out either with family or with friends or with colleagues. I'll go out. I really enjoy. I live in Philadelphia. We have excellent restaurants in Center City, Philadelphia. Really enjoy going out, having a good glass of wine. I sometimes will split maybe like a shrimp or scallop dish with a friend, a salad, a soup. I'll split a chocolate dessert. Why not? I keep my calories so low on a regular day that I can go out and get some variety. A lot of times I get seafood in these meals. I'll get something with oysters, maybe a seafood stew, get a little bit of extra zinc. Before CR, I actually was a vegetarian, and in my 20s I was vegan for 5 years, like hardcore low-fat, non-fat almost vegan. I really dramatically upped my protein when I started CR, and if I had to say there was one single thing that made the biggest difference in my hunger and how I feel, it was upping my protein, but using almost entirely non-saturated fat sources like egg whites, like non-fat dairy. I don't eat meat at home. I eat it sometimes when I go out. Usually seafood or a little bit of chicken. But at home, my sources are they have no saturated fat. All of my fat is coming from stuff like flax oil, almonds, hazelnuts, hazelnut oil, olive oil, stuff with great lipid profiles.
Can you think of any advice you'd give to someone that maybe particularly a woman that's considering starting CR?
Who might be what?
It's someone starting CR, maybe I don't know if there's anything special.
Eat protein for breakfast. Yeah, and I have a blog entry that's all about that called Guide, let's see, How to Start CR, a guide for girls and some guys.
Great.
My biggest advice, and even just to someone trying to lose weight, I mean, even to someone trying to get their diet under control, get to work on their health. Stop eating carbs for breakfast. Put the cereal down. Put it down, put it away. Give it to the homeless, give it to somebody who's actually starving. And eat protein for breakfast. Eat a cup of egg whites, scramble them, put some sort of fat source with it. If you can't quite go there with the flax oil, eat some nuts, eat some olive oil. But eat a high protein breakfast. I don't leave the house without 29 grams of protein in me before I go, and it has made all the difference. I have tried, I am not a naturally thin person, okay? I'm one of those big fat mice that I think will live longer, so I always cheer for the fat girl mouse, I weighed 35 pounds more before CR, and as you can see, I'm not like super skinny now. I am technically, for my height and weight, 6 pounds underweight, but I don't look that skinny. I'm one of those lucky people. But I would say, before CR, I tried lots of diets. I did Weight Watchers. I tried all kinds of things to lose weight. When I shifted my thinking, no longer about weight loss, I shifted my thinking to health and living longer, and I started counting calories, not trying any weird tricks, counting calories, upped my protein, upped my fat content, but only of unsaturated fat, like olive oil, flax oil, hazelnuts. Made all the difference. Up your protein, eat protein for breakfast, put the cereal away. That would be my main advice.